Hey, friend. I'm really glad you're here. Well, we're moving through these first few days of January, and I've been sitting with the energy of what it means to cross a threshold, not just into a new year, but into a deeper honesty about our creative lives. This episode is a reflection, a gathering of thoughts that came through me during a 5-day series that I shared on Patreon called The Working Creative, and I wanted to bring it here. If you're a creative, especially one who shows up, tries, builds, and keeps going, I have a feeling that some of this might sound familiar. I've been reflecting on 2025, my own creative risks, the stretching, the unexpected quiet, the moments of clarity, the wins, and the things that didn't quite land the way I imagined. What surprised me most was realizing how many expectations unraveled. Expectations I didn't even know I was still carrying. Most creatives, we step into launches and events, offerings, and projects with these threads of hope woven in. Not just hope for turnout or response, but a type of hope like confirmation. I'm good enough. This work is worth my time, money, and energy. This will show me I'm on the right path. I didn't fully see how tightly I was holding on to those threads of hope and expectation until a creative studio pop-up I hosted in November. I poured myself into that weekend. Artwork, zines, flyers, setting up, following through. It felt like a culmination of months of work, like one of those big moments. And then the doors opened and it was quiet for hours. Over 13 hours across 3 days, 9 beautiful people came through, hugged me, witnessed me in my work, shopped, and I am deeply grateful for each one of them. Still, there was a part of me that expected more. There were expectations with the people who had clicked and shared they were interested, those who had seen the flyers, and those who didn't come. My first feeling was defeat. But as I sat in that space, surrounded by 22 years of work, my paintings, zines, books, handmade pieces, my stories, my heart, something became clear. None of this was wrong. I stayed. I created. I wrote, I made a zine, I sang along to my playlist, I took selfies, and I looked at the woman looking back at me. She had taken a chance on herself because she holds value. In those quiet hours, I saw how much of my internal structure was still built on the belief that showing up should equal response, that effort should guarantee being seen, that commitment should promise momentum. What that weekend offered me beneath the sting was liberation, a release from the pressure to do it right, a release from needing applause to keep going, a release from the idea that validation must come from outside for the work to matter. Choosing to show up when no one is watching, that's what builds a creative spine. And I realized something else. Those quiet rooms don't just disappoint us professionally, they touch us personally. They activate old questions. Did I misjudge this? Does my work even matter? Am I being unrealistic? And here's the truth we don't say out loud enough. Those quiet rooms bruise the ego, but they do not diminish the work. When that studio stayed quiet, I felt it in my body first. The tightening in my chest, the urge to mentally audit everything I should have done differently, that familiar ache of being unseen. But what I've learned is this: ego bruises aren't evidence of failure, they're information, and they show us where we still seek reassurance, where validation and visibility are tangled together, where identity is attached to outcome. And those quiet rooms are honest. They don't flatter us, but they reveal where we're still asking our work to prove something. Once the sting softened, something grounded emerged. A clear sense of who I am, regardless of who walks through the door. Quiet rooms eventually ask us one essential question. Are you creating for applause or for the calling? The quiet isn't a verdict, it's an initiation. And this led me to one of the biggest realizations of the year. Visibility is not the same as being seen. We talk about visibility constantly. Post more, share more, show your face. Visibility has become a kind of currency. And yet, you can be visible every single day and still not feel seen at all. Before the pop-up, I was visible everywhere. Emails, flyers, social media posts, outreach, conversations, etc., etc. I was doing everything visibility asks of us. And still, I didn't feel seen. And then that's when it clicked. Visibility is external. Being seen is intimate. What most of us want isn't to be looked at, we want to be witnessed. And in that quiet studio, something surprising happened. A person felt the emotions in one of my paintings. A child expressed herself through a zine. And one dear person drove from another state to support me. That's not visibility, that's being seen. And it starts internally. Before the room fills, before the sales happen, before confirmation arrives, do I witness my own courage? Do I honor what I made? Do I allow myself to be seen by myself? By this point, one thing became impossible to ignore. Creative life doesn't always make sense when measured by outcomes. Results don't always reflect impact, and impact is rarely immediate. Impact lives in those private conversations, quiet shifts, courage passed from one person to another, seeds planted long before they bloom. When results don't match the work, two things can happen. The ego looks for proof, and the calling looks for truth. And this is where creative resilience is built, not in the big wins, but in the in between. The resilience to keep going without an applause, to honor the work without guarantees, to trust meaning even when it's invisible. And now, here we are at the beginning of a new year. What all of this has been pointing toward isn't quitting or pushing harder, it's sustainability. Not one single launch, not a viral moment, but a body of work. I want work that nourishes me as much as it nourishes others. Work that's rooted in integrity, capacity, and longevity. Sovereign work is built from the inside out. So I'll leave you with a few questions. What would your creative life look like if it were designed around the truth of who you are? What expectations are you ready to release? What kind of support would help you stay connected without burning out? If this reflection resonated, I want you to know that this conversation continues inside my Patreon community, Sacred Roots. That 5-day working creative series lives there now, alongside monthly creative guides, journaling prompts, and practices to support a sustainable creative life. You are always welcome to join us or simply take what you need from this moment. Thank you for being here.